Okay, it's going live. And there was an add-on, a Cornell Dowdy that was a fugitive.
Yes, Lord, I have him here.
Okay, all right, perfect. Okay, I'm ready to get started. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of the case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your own behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, I need everyone to raise their right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's begin with the ladies.
Your name?
Megan Baxter.
Okay, Miss Baxter, ma'am, you're charged with one count of simple battery. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Gregory Hughes. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Your bond hearing is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, Ms. Baxter, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
Yes. If the Gregory Hughes was maybe gonna post my bond, is that possible?
I'm sorry, say that again.
If the victim Gregory Hughes was gonna help me my bond, is that still possible?
He's not going to be allowed to post your bond. Theoretically, if you're going through a bonding company, whomever pays the bonding company is whomever pays the bonding company, but he's not going to be allowed to come in and be a person that's responsible for your bond.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
Thank you.
Miss Brown, Tranisha Brown,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, you're charged with failing to stop at a stop sign, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and use or possession of drug-related objects. Your total bond is going to be set at $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Trivia Brown. Or Trivia.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of battery, 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a case that was, I've set a bond, but this is a case that was a bond not being set. But because of your relative lack of criminal history, I'm setting a bond. But your bond is going to be set at $33,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
How much do you make per hour, ma'am?
1725.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Cooper,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of simple assault. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, stay away from Vivian Gill. Do you understand that?
No, Your Honor, I don't even know who that is.
That is the person that is listed as the victim in this simple assault.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, I understand, sir. I
So
apologize.
it basically, the allegation was that you were attempting to, or the terminology was pre-assault, but that you got into an agreement with someone. And I believe that person is the person that is listed as Miss Gill. And the fact that you don't know her, that makes it easier for you to stay away from her.
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
One question. I live in Warner Robins, Georgia. How would this work out with far? Never mind, that makes sense. Okay. It's just I don't live out here anymore, and so it's kind of hard for me to travel back and forth.
So, you're going to receive notices at this Warner Robins address. I would presume that that's the address that's listed for you.
Yes, sir.
So this charge is a relatively minor charge. And depending on your criminal history and what goes on, there may be an alternative solution to this case other than guilty or not guilty. Speak to your lawyer about it. You're probably not going to receive a court notice within the short term. So this is something that most likely will get resolved. And you can speak to your lawyer about the different plea options. There's something called a plea in absentia, and that's where the person is not present, and that's normally done in traffic court. I don't know if it'll happen in this case, but there's a lot going on. You should speak to your lawyer, and you should explore your options. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're free to go back, ma'am.
Probably was never
Miss Hodges.
Yes, girl.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of financial transaction card fraud. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you Miss McBride?
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second, ma'am. Let me get myself organized.
Okay.
Hey, ma'am, you've also been charged with one count of financial transaction card fraud. The bond is also going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
All right, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good morning. Is it Miss Knock?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of stalking, one count of aggravated stalking, one count of criminal damage to property, and a second degree felony. The aggravated stalking charge is going to be a no bond charge at this stage, and I did no bond on the stalking and criminal damage to property second degree, so that the next judge can set a bond on these offenses. We're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. We're gonna have a bond hearing date set for September 17th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Seem to be a little bit above the minimum limit, but I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you. So your lawyer should be able to speak to the district attorney's office about this case. Generally, when you are coming in on a, well, not generally, but when you're coming in on an aggravated stalking charge, there's going to be no bond. So I don't know the circumstances. I don't know whatever, but speak to your lawyer about the circumstances of the case and allow your lawyer to help you. Okay. All right, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Nixon,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, you're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce and use or possession of drug-related objects. I'm going to set your bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Dr. Carey,
I'm sorry. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Rucker Carey Rucker.
Did you say last name Rucker?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have you in the wrong pile.
Oh, no. Yes, sir.
Actually, I don't have you at all. Hmm. Ma'am, what are you charged with?
Disorderly conduct.
Do you know if your bond has been set?
No,
Not set. I'm sorry. If your bond has been made.
I don't know. He probably has. My husband probably had. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to anyone.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're not listed. This is an offense that is normally immediately bondable,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have warrants, nor do I have a bond for you. Hold on.
That's perfect. I know my husband been down there for a while.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see. I'm scrolling through what I have. Okay. I see you're here on a disorderly conduct warrant. Let me again. Okay, I found you. All right, ma'am. Your bond is set by schedule at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and with a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Did you fill out one of the forms?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you will qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good morning. Are you Miss,
Here, Smith, yes, I am.
okay. So let me ask, Deputy there, is Santana Vargas, is she OTB?
OTB, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Ms. Smith, ma'am, you've been charged with driving a vehicle without a license and with having an expired vehicle tag. Your total bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You're free to go back, ma'am. Miss Wiley? Ma'am, you're charged with impeding traffic, open container violation, driving under the influence, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your total bond is going to be set at $7,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am. Go back.
What's your name again? Your Honor, what was Trivia Brown's bond?
Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
The total bond, it was 25,000 for the aggravated assault, 5,000 for the battery, and 3,000 for the criminal trespass. So it's a total bond of $33,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank
And that
you.
concludes the female side.
Have a good day.
You too, Your Honor. Take care.
Okay, let's switch over to the male side.
Mr. Allen?
Good morning, Mr. Allen. Sir, you're charged with one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree. I've set the bond at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir.
I get my own attorney.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
So I did. So I did. Let's go, come on. So I did, come on.
That was too quick, sir.
Come on, you got. You stand in front of the judge. Come on, come up here.
I appreciate it.
You wanna stand right here? Right here? You're addressing the judge.
Tell me, sir, how to pronounce your last name?
It's I.D. Davis. It's an African name and an American name, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ogby Davis, sir, you're charged with terroristic threats and acts and simple assault. Bond is going to be denied at this point because it appears that you have had two convictions on October 16th, 2020 and July 23rd of this year. In case numbers 2002 CR 07387 and 2021 CR 05088. So I'm not permitted by law to set bond at this stage. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. You're also going to have a bond hearing date set for September 17th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
If you can, sir, please.
Okay. Okay, sir, you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You have any questions for me?
I can speak. Can I speak?
Yes, sir.
I just have, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to stay in my refuge.
You have a question?
I just want to say thank you first, because this is what my mom told me. Say thank you.
Okay.
My question is, have you seen sword? Like, have you seen sword SUD? Like sword, like him, like sword, black man.
All right.
Black man.
No, sir. No, I have not.
Put your master and let's go. Come on.
You heard my sweetheart. I just want to.
It's all good. Come on, let's go.
I appreciate it.
Go that way.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Okay.
You're welcome, sir. I appreciate it. Can I sit down?
Mr. Barnett?
Go outside. Come on, sir. Go outside.
Go ahead.
Come on,
Mr. Are you Joshua Barnett?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're charged with trafficking marijuana. I cannot set bond at this stage by law on this offense. I've set a preliminary hearing date for September 15th. I've set a bond hearing date for September 17th. Sorry, give me 1 second. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You said no, sir?
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Barnett.
I said yes, sir, about the law. You didn't
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I misheard you. You're on the edge, but I'm gonna find that you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. Um, is there any other questions that you have for me?
Date was what day, sir?
I'm sorry.
The bond hearing date was what?
Is September 17th. And just so you know, Mr. Barnett, I'm not allowed at this stage to set a bond. Doesn't mean a bond can't be set tomorrow, but it'll have to be through the district attorney's office. And
Oh,
if they consent to a bond, then a judge will sign it.
when would they be able to maybe consent? And, like, when would they look into it and maybe consent?
Your lawyer is going to have to advocate on your behalf. The majority, like you're not the only person, Mr. Barnett, that has come through on these charges from the destination that you came from.
Yes, sir.
So it's like at least 6 or 7 a week that we get
6 or 7 a week.
from the airport.
Right.
So the district attorney is the person between now and September 17th that can decide to say, I'll consent to a bond.
So I maybe can get
I'm
family,
sorry?
maybe I can get my family or my lawyer to maybe contact the district attorney.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Because this is something that is set by law, that I can't set a bond for trafficking marijuana. Anything over 10 pounds, I cannot set a bond
okay.
at this stage. So your lawyer is going to have to speak to the district attorney. And to be honest with you, I don't know who's out there being the spokesperson, but a number of people that come through with your charge has maybe 2 arrests tops. Very few that I see frequent flyers with like 20 arrests. So somebody is recruiting people to go out and do this. And I don't think that recruiter is actually telling people the whole truth about what they're going to face, because you very well could be sitting here until September 17th. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, sir?
One more question. You say I could very well be sent to September the 17th. That's not a for sure date that I'm going to get a bond. That's just like another date that I maybe get a bond.
Right. That's the date where there can be a hearing to determine whether you are a person that the judge is going to set bond for. So the marijuana stuff is a nonviolent offense. So it's not up there with some of the other offenses. But at the same time, you are going to appear before a judge, and that judge is going to make a decision one way or another. And if you're there until the 17th, the presumption will be that the district attorney has refused to consent to a bond. So that's what you have in store for you. Okay. All right. Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Aguilar?
That was gonna be our next question. Mr. Aguilar, sir, you're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession or use of drug-related objects, and criminal trespass. I've set your total bond at $6,000. Do you believe you can post a bond, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Aguilar or Aguilar?
No, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
Mr. Blackshear?
Mr. Blackshear, sir, you've been charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce, loitering or prowling violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, which is possession with intent to distribute, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and use or possession of drug-related objects. Your total bond is going to be set at $19,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I might get my own lawyer, but yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Blackshear, and if you hire your own lawyer, just notify the appointed lawyer that you've retained counsel, and then they will be released, okay?
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Forrest?
Good morning.
Let me ask this question. Is Mr. Cowling OTB?
No, this is Mr. Forrest. Deontay Forrest.
Yeah, I'm not talking to you, Mr. Forrest. I'm speaking to the deputy. Is Mr. Cowling disorderly conduct? Is he OTB?
They have him listed here, they have this person listed as a female, Your Honor. He's not in my courtroom.
It's listed as a male on the warrant. Okay, I see it is OTB.
Okay, Your Honor.
And you have Cowling listed as a female?
Yes, Your Honor, they said she was in housing unit 3.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. We'll leave it up to the Clayton County Police Department because they listed Cowling as a male on the warrant. Okay, thank you
All right.
for that information. Mr. Forrest, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. You're going to have a total bond set at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Courtney Forrest. Do you understand that? The preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? All right, so you're free to go back.
Mr. Gillis?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Gillis. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of simple battery. The total bond is going to be set at $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Martin B. John. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I think I'll get my own attorney.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
I would not. Thank you very much.
Okay. You're free to go back.
Mr. Griffin?
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good morning, Mr. Griffin. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with an expired tag, 1 count of driving a vehicle with no insurance, 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your total bond is going to be set at $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I may get my own, but can you please just don't take time?
Okay. I'm gonna find that you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And same as before, if you hire a new lawyer, just tell the appointed lawyer that you've retained counsel, okay? All right, sir, you're free to go back. Mr.
Hancock.
Okay. Mr. Hancock.
Oh, he's in quarantine, Your Honor. He's in quarantine?
Okay, well, we'll save him to the end. He's a fugitive from justice anyway.
Your Honor, yesterday you said you were gonna continue on today with Mr. Herring.
Yes.
He's here today.
Okay.
Want to see him now?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, he's on his way out.
Mr. Hancock, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly.
Excuse me, Your Honor. This is Mr. Herring.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Herring. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm gonna set a bond in this case, but the bond is gonna be set at $25,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. I am going to place a stay away provision on the bond, but the handwriting is hard to read. Looks like a Joy Meyer Barreau. Do you understand that? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, but I also might also be my own lawyer.
Okay. Are you currently working, sir?
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per hour?
Roughly about 19 an hour.
Okay, so you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. If you do decide to retain your own counsel, just let the appointed lawyer know so that they can be released from the case. Do you have any questions of me?
Is there any possible way? No, not now.
All right, free to go back.
All right.
Say,
Hi, Judge. Please review your messages.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm done. I'm good. So, it's my way.
Hold on 1 second, sir.
Sit down. No, so slow down.
Tell me your name, sir. I'm sorry, say that again.
Hussein.
Okay. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple assault. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Margarita Hussein. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
All right, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. I need the person that just said to stay away from is in my residence, so I need to get my work clothes and stuff.
Okay, so when you're going through the bonding process, make that known and you can set an appointment date with a police officer being there so that you can get your items that you need to go about daily living. And they'll just stand by to make sure you're not charged with any additional charges and there are no additional allegations. And so once you do that, you can get your stuff and you can go about your day.
Because I'm not from Georgia, so I'm trying to figure out the ways to.
You said you're not from Georgia?
I'm from Chicago.
There's a Stockbridge address listed.
I moved here from Stockbridge. I haven't been here 1 year yet. I was here mostly during the quarantine period. And so I haven't been able to move around here very much.
So theoretically, wouldn't that make it easier for you to get your stuff and go back to where you're from?
From Chicago. I work here now. So my stuff is the apartment, everything there basically.
Okay. So the stay away provision is to the person and not to a particular place.
Okay.
So I don't know your situation and I'm not going to inquire into that. That's something that you should have a conversation with your lawyer about. But if you're working here, you're most likely going to have to find temporary housing until this situation is resolved.
Yeah, I need to be able to maintain my job, so I need stuff so I can do that. As of today, I have to be at work.
Okay.
Because I'm under a contract I missed yesterday.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna complete the paperwork today as it relates to your being able to bond out.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to bond out today. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, but I would encourage you to take necessary steps to keep your contract so that you can continue working, but you're not going to be able to be around Ms. Hussein. Okay. Any other questions, sir? All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Jackson? Hold on.
Mr. Jackson, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana. I'm not allowed to set bond for this offense at this stage. I am going to set a preliminary hearing date for September 15th and a bond hearing date for September 17th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. I'll get my own lawyer.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, Mr. Jackson?
No, you said I could get my lawyer on the bond as soon as tomorrow to reach out to a DA.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. McAfee?
Mr. McAfee, you're charged with 2 aggravated assault counts, family violence battery, simple battery, family violence, cruelty to children, and kidnapping. Bond is going to be denied on the 2 aggravated assault counts and the kidnapping count. I've set a bond of $12,000 total on the 2 batteries and the cruelty to children. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning, and a bond hearing date for September 17th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. You say yes? All right. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
If I were to bond out on $12,000, I still wouldn't be able to leave until I get a bond for the other charges, correct?
Not until you get a bond on the kidnapping and 2 aggravated assault charges.
Okay, that was all.
I'm sorry, sir.
That was all, Your Honor. That was all, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Mr. Moore,
Mr. Moore, sir, you're charged with driving a vehicle with an expired or invalid tag, driving a vehicle with no insurance, giving false name, address, or date of birth, and not having your license on person. Your total bond is going to be set at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. I wasn't in a vehicle, I was on a dirt bike.
I'm sorry, sir.
I was never in a vehicle, I was on a dirt bike. That's not necessary here. You just asked me.
Okay. That may be a defense to your charges, sir. You need to speak to your lawyer about it.
Okay.
Okay? All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Faggot,
Mr. Pageant, sir, you're charged with aggravated assault by strangulation, family violence, battery, and simple assault. You had a relatively clean criminal history. So I'm setting a bond on the aggravated assault charge at $20,000. The battery charge is $5,000, and the simple assault is $3,000. So that's a total bond of $28,000. You believe you can post that bond? You're gonna have a stay away provision on your bond, to stay away from Leah Arnold. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Pageant. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Me and Miss Arnold, we live together. You know, we kind of rely on each other for a lot of the financial things that we do. So, you know, as far as that, stay away from order, is there any way we can possibly get that modified?
She would have to contact the district attorney's office to have that modified. The basic reasoning behind the stay away provision is we don't want whatever led up to your appearing before me to just reoccur. So we place a stay away provision on the bond, and now the solicitor's office or the district attorney's office can look into the situation and decide whether they believe that it is appropriate.
And where do I go about getting information?
Well, she as the victim is going to have to be the person that does that. And I tell people this all the time. I've been married to my wife for 19 years, and we've never had the police call to our house. So it's not to say that you're a bad person or she's a bad person, but when you bring other people into your life, you bring other decision makers into your life. So at this point, a lot of stuff as it relates to this is not going to be within your control. Okay?
Will I still be able to contact her over the phone?
Will you still be able to have contact with whom?
With her over the phone?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
Will I still be able to contact her over the phone?
No, no. That could lead to aggravated stalking charges, and that could lead to your being in jail without bond.
Okay, so I just need to schedule a date to get my stuff and then from there.
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you this, and again, and I say this to especially men. You're now in a position where you may decide, or she may say, hey, come back. You can come back. But there's a target on your back. And at any moment that she is not satisfied with anything that you're doing, if you were to come back without the district attorney's office saying it's okay, she can yank that chain and you'll be back in jail. So the stay away provision is something that also helps you. And I don't know your relationship, but at the same time, I've seen it enough times to know that sometimes that's a way that people, I've seen it father to daughter, I've seen it mother to daughter, I've seen it where people are now under some kind of judicial control, and the person who's on the other side of it uses it as a manner to control the person that they wish to control. So don't place yourself in that situation. Only you know your relationship. You should speak to your lawyer about everything that happened so that your lawyer can advise you. Okay? All right, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Perkins?
Mr. Perkins, sir, you're charged with driving a vehicle with no tail lights, violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, giving a false name, address, or date of birth, and driving a vehicle with no license. Your total bond is going to be set at $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat those charges again? It sounds like you left out one. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Driving a vehicle with no tail lights, violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, giving a false name, address, or date of birth, and driving a vehicle without a license. And it says none or class violation.
What is that?
Hold on. Driving while unlicensed.
Okay. And you say it's a violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. What is that for the marijuana? Is that one charge?
No, it is possession of crack cocaine.
Sir, both of those was tested negative on the scene. How am I still charged with it? It was OCD, the gas station.
So at this stage, Mr. Perkins, these are mere allegations. State's going to have to prove these allegations beyond a reasonable doubt. If the officer, which the officer should have been wearing a body-worn camera, that will come out on the tape or the camera. I'm just here to set you a bond and to advise you of the charges and to appoint a lawyer if you so desire. Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Perkins, for the appointment of lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
Yeah, what was the bond amount again?
$8,000.
All right, thank you.
All right,
All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Price?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Price, sir. You're charged with all right. You're charged with a number of offenses. You're charged with 9 total offenses. Do you want me to read each one out or just give you a total bond amount? I'm sorry, sir. Okay. I gotta add it up. I'm sorry. Looks like your total bond amount is going to be $21,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Price? Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Presley?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Give me 1 second, Mr. Presley. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana. I am not allowed to set bond on this offense at this time. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning and a bond hearing date for September 17th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I've already retained a lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Presley?
Yes, you said 2 dates, one on the 15th and one on the 17th.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I got a bond on the 15th, I don't know on the 17th.
So 2 things. One, your lawyer can try to negotiate with the district attorney's office prior to those dates to see if you can get a bond. If the district attorney is unable to do that, normally what happens at the preliminary hearing on the 15th, well, I won't say normally, but what can happen is that a bond can be negotiated on that date so that you don't have to go forward to have a bond hearing on the 17th.
Okay, and if, one more question, if you don't mind.
No.
I contact my lawyer, and he gets in touch with the DA, and I'm lucky enough to go ahead and get a bond before those dates. What would be the steps in that? I guess he would contact me to let me know, or.
Well, most likely he would. The steps on the other side, if there's an agreed upon bond amount, the bond order, consent bond order will be presented to a judge, and the judge will sign off on it 9 times out of 10. And so your lawyer most likely would let you know that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right, you're free to go back, sir.
Robinson?
Mr. Robinson, sir, you've also been charged with trafficking marijuana, and I cannot set a bond for this. I've set a preliminary hearing date for September 15th, and I've also set a bond hearing date for September 17th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Robinson?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Benson Smith.
Let's see. Is Mr. Santana OTB?
Santana is OTB, Your Honor.
Thank you. Give me 1 second, Mr. Smith. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act and 1 count of crossing a roadway at a point other than a recognized crossing. Your total bond is going to be set at $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 15th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, you can.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Sure.
All right, you're free to go back.
Turner Marshall.
Before we get to Mr. Turner Marshall, deputies, did you know that there was an add-on of Cornell Dowdy?
Yes, Your Honor, but
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. All right, Mr. Turner, sir, Turner Marshall, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of family violence battery. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond. And it looks like the name is Aikisha Roshana Tinch.
Yeah, that's my fiance.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir. Did you say no or yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sir. You do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
The bond set at 5,000.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No, that's
All right. You're free to go back. Is it Israel?
Yes.
Okay, sir, you're charged with 1 count of obstruction of an officer and 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I have a lawyer retained already, Your Honor.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so I have a Duntrail hand that was listed as an add-on for today.
All I have is Dowdy Cornell. What was the other name?
Duntrail or Duntrial hand, LE number 0786782. He was handwritten on today's calendar that I received as an add-on.
Says 078672.
0786782. Criminal trespass, looks like he was arrested on the 28th at 11 o'clock in the morning.
And I'm going to go get, Dowdy Cornell now.
Okay. And is Mr. Hancock still there?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hancock is in quarantine, Your Honor.
Mr. Your,
Ah,
yeah, he,
okay. He did tell me that.
He's on his way down.
So Mr. Hancock is a fugitive. I can deal with him tomorrow.
okay, Your Honor.
And now the people that I think, Mr. Dowdy is a fugitive also, and he was an add-on.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Han is the only person that I'm concerned about that we have to do today. Mr. Dowdy and Mr. Hancock, I can do tomorrow if that makes it easier.
Mr. Dowdy, if they were sending him down, I can stop it if that's what you want, Your Honor.
Yes, he was here. Looks like he appeared before Judge Bando on June 26th on a fugitive from Justice Warren. And my understanding is he wants to change his mind and waive his hearing.
Okay.
So he should be relatively quick.
All right.
And
What was that, room number?
Say again?
What was the room number?
605. He's in, I was here at 5. He's on his way down.
so I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna turn my camera off, but I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, mute
Is
it.
the last
Your
one?
Honor,
Yes, sir.
come here, come here. Hand is here, Your Honor.
Oh, you must talk about it when I was out.
Mhm.
Okay. I apologize. Are you Mr. Han?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. I'm going to set the bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. Would I have to pay the whole two?
I'm sorry, sir.
Would I have to pay the whole 2,000, sir? Or is it like a percent?
No, it can be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Cash is the whole amount. Sheriff's office will hold it and return it to you. Commercial is through a bonding company where you pay like 10, 12% of the bond as a fee to the bonding company. That money would not be returned to you. Property is you can put up property that has at least 3 times the bond amount, and they'll place a lien on the property. When the case is over, they'll remove the lien.
May I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
If I had the money in my property or on a card in my property, can I use that, or do I have to have someone come post the bond for me, or can I do it on my own?
Well, the short answer to that question is that maybe. The sheriff's department, you'll have to speak to the people there about having access to your property. The bonding company may allow you to sign a document saying that you agree to pay them, and they put up the bond and you bond out, and then you use your card because you'll get your property back, and you give that money to the bonding company.
Well, if I don't have the cash and I just have a card, can I use my card?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, yes, sir, I'll be able to make the bond, sir.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Han?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per month or per hour?
Well, it all depends on the job, sir, because I work for a moving company and we get paid by the job. So it all depends on how big the job is, or how small the job is. So it's really not a set price that I make every week. It varies time to time.
Okay, so give me like an average of what you expect to make per month. Not like, and I understand it varies, but just give me an average because I have to base my decision on something.
Maybe 5 grand, 6 grand.
Okay. You're kind of over the limit as it relates to that for me to appoint a lawyer. So you're going to have to hire your own lawyer.
No problem, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Han?
Sir, is it, as soon as I leave, I can post bond? Or my bond, I have to wait a certain time, or?
I'm responsible for the paperwork, and it generally takes me about 2 hours to complete the paperwork on the back end before I can send it to the sheriff's department, and then they start processing it. So you will be released today. I just can't tell you at what time.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Thank you.
Come on. Say your name.
Cornell Down.
Mr. Dowdy, my understanding is that you now wish to waive your right to a hearing on the issue of whether you are here whether it's appropriate that you're here as a fugitive from justice.
Yes, sir.
Do you have the paperwork there?
Yes.
Okay. You signed the paperwork, Mr. Dowdy, and They will email it to me today and I will sign it and I will put it with the paperwork that goes back over to the sheriff's department. And then the clock will start ticking today.
You can sign 7 copies. Same place.
It's basically just saying that I'm Cornell Dowdy and I'm agreeing that I'm the person they're looking for in Indiana.
Yes. And so what happens generally, sir, is that these issues are always resolved in the requesting jurisdiction. They're never resolved in the jurisdiction where you're being held. And so in 20 plus years of practice as a lawyer, defense lawyer, thank you. The only way that we've been able to resolve these things is by dealing with the requesting jurisdiction. Sometimes we get them to agree to a bond, and they agree to a bond and they send it off. Like Indiana, they'll send it to us and say, hey, cut them loose. And we cut you loose because we don't have any interest in whatever's going on.
How long can they hold me? Like after this signature?
It's 30 days, and then there is the possibility of an additional 30 days if Indiana doesn't come and get you. But by and large, what happens is once they receive the notice that you've signed a waiver and that you're waiting, it speeds up the process. Because if they've gone through the effort to say that we will extradite, and then they get the notice that you are saying extradite me, they will know that, hey, we can't play around with this. On the side of when you're requesting an extradition hearing, currently it could be up to 90 days that you're waiting for the extradition hearing. And if it's granted, which by and large they're granted, then if you tack 30 days on to 90 days and then potentially another 60 days, you're just sitting here doing dead time.
Right. Yeah, because basically I had did an extradition in 2019 and it was just inhumane and painful. That's why I didn't sign it this last time. I was trying to ask them, was it a different way I could have did it, like paid some money or anything like that, but I really didn't know who to ask that. But I was just like, I didn't want to go through the extradition, but after being here for 35 more days right now, I'm just like, I might as well just do it.
Yes, and generally, have you reached out to family members or friends to try to obtain counsel out in Indiana?
I have now, yeah, they're trying to do it for me right now.
That's generally the best approach. In my experience, is that you sign a waiver and then you get a lawyer in whatever jurisdiction. In your case, it's Indiana. You get a lawyer so that you're working both ends against the middle. Because if you have a waiver signed, the clock is ticking for them to come and get you. And if you have a lawyer that is advocating on your behalf in Indiana, they may agree to a reduced bond than maybe what they would have agreed to before. But it's just because they're going to have to expend money to come get you. And a lot of times it's in their best interest to agree to a bond on the front end, and have you pay the cost to come back up to court.
Right.
And what you should understand is that people take it seriously when you've gone through the expense of hiring a lawyer. That means, in a lot of people's mind, is that you are going to fight the charges. And so if you're going to fight the charges, you're going to be there to fight the charges. And you have a lawyer guiding you rather than someone off the street telling you, you ain't got to go. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So it kind of places you in a better initial position as it relates to your case. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have anything else for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dowdy, you're free to go back.
Go back to my album.
Yes. Okay, Judge, that concludes everybody who on your list.
Okay, I'm going to do a continuance order for Mr. Hancock for him to be brought back tomorrow.
Okay, I'll make a note.
All right. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day.